And we're just over 100 days away from the November election, which isn't a lot of time, especially when you take into account this past weekend's news of President Biden stepping away from the presidential race. Joining us now is Ambassador Joe Donnelly, former Indiana senator and congressman as well. He's serving as chair of the Indiana DNC delegation for the convention. Of course, Ambassador, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you very much.
Let's start with that news from overnight. Kamala Harris becoming the de facto presidential nominee as she secured the number of delegates necessary to become the candidate, right? So how difficult was it, though, for you, Ambassador, to convince 88 delegates to change their pick after originally pledging to Joe Biden?
Well, I've endorsed Vice President Harris because I know she'll be ready on day one, and because I served in the United States Senate with her. I saw her talents, her smarts, and so when the president decided to not continue his race, she was the logical choice. You know, I'm incredibly grateful to President Biden for all he's done for Indiana, for the United States, and what I'm hoping is that Vice President Harris will continue the record job numbers and lowering inflation.
Speaking of record, she's getting a lot of money into her campaign, which just started in earnest over the weekend. Can you talk about what that says about the country that is, at least the Democratic part of this country, that is standing behind her right now?
Well, it shows great excitement. It shows confidence, and it shows a belief in Vice President Harris that she will make a great president, that she is ready, she is strong, she can stand up to a Vladimir Putin, she can work with all of our allies, which she has done on numerous occasions. And so it's just a sign of great confidence in her ability.
You talked about confidence. This is all happening in real time so quickly. Ambassador, what do you say to those who say they may have questions about the transparency, the openness of this process?
Well, the votes will be cast by delegates from our state, delegates elected by other people from our state. And so it's a totally homegrown operation, that it's the people of Indiana. And they have every choice that they want to make. And so there's nobody pressing them to choose this or to choose that. It is their own choice. And so it's as democratic as could be.
Were there ever discussions among delegates before this weekend's decision by the president to drop out?
No, I don't think that that would have been appropriate. I mean, internally, people can talk to each other, but certainly not before the president made the decision himself. Our delegates are serious. They know the weight of history is on their shoulders for this convention. It's a unique moment in American history. I mean, we're all living it. And so they're taking this with the utmost seriousness, preparing, getting ready, and looking forward to being in Chicago in August.
We've heard from so many Democrats, top Democrats as well, before Biden made that decision to urge him to step aside. Where were you in all of this in terms of what was your opinion? Did you think he should have stepped aside? Were you going to ride with him if he decided to stay in the race?
Well, I was actually with President Biden just a few weeks before when I was serving as the ambassador to the Vatican. We were at the G7 together, and the president was meeting with Pope Francis. And so I was working with the president, spent time with him, and you know, he was good to go then. And so I felt that the decision here should be one that the president would make.
What should we expect from you and who's your delegates before next month's convention?
You should expect us to take this very, very seriously. It's an important obligation from our fellow citizens, the over 6 million Hoosiers that are, that live in our great state, that we'll do our homework, we'll be ready to go, and we hope to make everybody proud when we're in Chicago.
Ambassador, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks a bunch.